Here we are again. It's been 8 months since I posted something that wasn't just a short. Um, you know, time flies. Now that glare on my glasses is going to drive me nuts. So let's not do that. So April is when I did this last. Since then, kind of a lot's happened. We had one child graduate high school. We had a vacation. We had a graduation from the culinary school. We had a new class start at the culinary school. What else? Let's see. We've had a couple of birthdays. Thanksgiving, obviously. All the normal stuff. And we're coming up on Christmas. And I know last April, I'm pretty sure I said that I was going to post more often and I was going to do more and maybe do weekly stuff. And then I didn't do anything for the better part of 8 months. Sorry about that. I don't have a good explanation except for I didn't want to. That's not a great explanation, right? But I just didn't want to. I wasn't in a good place. I wasn't feeling great about things. I wasn't having a great time all the time. My motivation level dropped. My tiredness level went up. I just didn't have the motivation to do this. And what I realized was what I was doing was actually not really what I should be doing on here. And what I mean by that is what I was doing was mostly reviews and tastings of spirits, which I love to do, but that is what I do on a pretty regular basis, almost daily, not quite daily, but almost. That's kind of my occupation. So getting on here and sharing my occupation in that way was just making it worse. It's just making my days longer and just making me, try to do this in a way that was interesting and fun or whatever. And you don't need me to do that. You really, really, really don't. You have plenty of very good, capable channels that do that. I mean, Ralphie.com is awesome. I don't get to watch his videos as often as I would like to, but when I do, they're always great. The Colorado Whisky guy, he does all kinds of cool stuff. He sees all kinds of people. He is, a promoter of Colorado spirits, and so am I. But you don't need two of us, necessarily. Obviously, I'm not going to stop promoting other Colorado distillers, because why would I do that? But I don't think you need another person talking about whiskey and bourbon and spirits again and again and again. I might do some reviews here and there, just things that I really think need it, or whatever, things that are new, things that are exciting, things that really, really blow my socks off, so to speak. I'm going to do my best not to review things that I don't like. Right? So I'm going to avoid the negative reviews if I can. Can't control everything. If I do it blind and I don't like it, oh well. Apologies ahead of time for anybody who falls into that category as a distillery. But it could happen. What doesn't seem to happen, or at least in my viewing, what I don't see enough of are people discussing, well, just life in a way that I'm used to. And what I mean by that is once a month, about once a month, or we try for once a month. Let's put it that way. We try for once a month, me and my two best friends. And while this statement is going to probably bug somebody, two people that in my life are closer to me than my two actual brothers. These are my two best friends. My oldest friend and my second oldest friend. I've known one since we were 6 years old and one since 6th grade. And we still hang out together. We all came back home eventually to Colorado. And we try to get together once a month. Usually at a brewery or a bar or distillery or whatever. And we have a drink or two. And we just talk. Update each other on what's going on in each other's lives, right? And that's not all. We talk about what's going on around us in the world. Maybe one of us ran into somebody we all went to high school with, and we talk about them. We try not to be, negative about that, but, sometimes you see someone you didn't want to see. It happens. But nobody, in my view, on YouTube or anywhere else, really spends much time talking on video the way that people who are having a drink together talk. And I think that's where I should be. Not reviewing stuff. I mean, I do that already, and I am going to continue to do that. That's what I do, but I'm not going to bring that here. Because once a month with those guys is what I want. It's me and my two best friends talking about stuff. But in between, we don't always get to see each other. So some of those conversations, for me, only happen once a month. Sometimes they happen with somebody else, usually, Victor, the founder of Black Bear Distillery. Him and I might be able to do that once in a while. But those conversations over a drink where your opinion comes out, or you make an observation or whatever, I don't see that as much on YouTube or anywhere else, really. So I thought I would stop reviewing things on YouTube. So my videos now are going to be a little more like conversations, if I can do it that way. It's a little weird because you're basically talking to yourself and trying to talk to yourself like you would talk to a friend at a bar. It's very weird, but I'm going to do my best, right, to not treat you as an audience, quote unquote, and treat the camera more like the person sitting across the bar from me, or across the table, or whatever. So in my videos, I might talk about what I'm drinking slightly, just mention what I'm drinking today. Or it's 1:45 in the morning almost, so tonight I'm drinking this. Not making a shameless plug or anything, but it is sort of a shameless plug. This is the Black Bear Distillery Jackson Family Single Malt. This is the only product we have that carries a name other than the founder's family. Currently. Now, there was a limited release of this. We released it on Veterans Day. And 100 bottles only. Very, very limited run. Now, that doesn't mean there were only 100 bottles. There were more than 100 bottles. However, there were closer to 200 bottles. And the 200 bottles got split. Because this is something that my wife and I got control over. This recipe and this label, this is our bottling, belongs to us. So we donated 100 bottles to a fundraiser for some families that were dealing with cancer in the family. So we donated those bottles to be sold, proceeds going to those families. The other 100 bottles were released on November 11th to the public, and we still have some bottles left. So here's the cheap plug. We have a couple weeks till Christmas. If you let me know and you're in Colorado Springs area, there are still bottles available. There's only a couple people who have prepaid and their bottles are waiting for them, but there are some bottles left. So if you're looking for a new single malt, I got you covered. You just gotta come see me at the distillery. So that's what I'm drinking tonight. I will be doing a video about this product. Not tonight, but later. It's a more complicated video, so when I put that video out, you'll understand why it was a little more complicated. So I'm going to get to that eventually. Hopefully soon, but eventually. I might tell you what, in these new videos that I'm going to do, I might tell you what music I'm listening to. So when I was setting up for this, I was listening to Ain't Nothing Like by Brad Paisley. It's a song I haven't listened to in a long time. But it's a good song. So I'm drinking some single malt, listening to Brad Paisley. And now I'm talking to you. Seems reasonable, doesn't it? There's about 3 inches of snow outside. It's cold. It's late at night. So the goal here is to tell you what's coming. I'm going to do videos. I'm going to try to do them on the same night every week. We'll see. That might not happen. I might just do them whenever. So we'll see. But I might do them when I have something on my mind. So I'm going to treat this like I'm talking to a friend. I'm talking to somebody who is having a drink with me. So stories, jokes, funny instances, people who made me mad, things that made me mad, whatever it is. Now, why all of a sudden am I changing it up, and why am I back? I had always intended to continue making videos. I just lost that motivation, right? So I cut off social media for several months. I didn't do this for 8 months, except for some shorts here and there. I just wasn't feeling it. I just didn't want to do it. I like everyone else, I'm dealing with stuff, and it's okay to be dealing with stuff. My work was bleeding into my regular life. My regular life was bleeding into my work. All of it was bleeding into my sleep. You know, things can go south, and things were kind of headed south. I wasn't in a good place, so I didn't want to share it with the world. But maybe a little more sharing is what the world needs. Doesn't mean I'm going to tell you a whole bunch of private details of my life, so don't expect that. But I am going to open up a little bit about certain things. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. So, you know, keep coming back if you're so inclined. If you stuck around, which probably isn't a lot of people, I'm not going to lie, I haven't looked at my subscriber numbers like in a while. So it might be like 5 people, which if it is, that means I kept everybody, which is cool. But we'll see. So just expect different videos. Not all reviews, not all tastings. It's going to be a little bit different. So I hope you stuck with me. If not, that's cool. People left, that's cool. If you want to keep watching, please subscribe and keep checking back. Things will happen, but I'm not going to make any promises I can't keep, so I won't tell you when those things are going to happen, but they will happen. So have a good night. I hope all of you are well. Cheers.